Behind door number 1, we have your sweet, hot, 26-year-old boyfriend who honestly knows and adores you and wants to be with you despite your craziness.
Hey, I thought you wanted to Netflix and chill tonight.
You know that means sex, right?
Behind door number 2, we've got your 40-something divorced boss with 2 kids.
He thinks I'm 26. Nothing can happen.
You never know what's going to happen when you get in bed with a 26-year-old.
That's a business term.
Of course.
Talk about working with Sutton and this romantic triangle that has been created by Mr. Starr and team here.
First, working with Sutton, I always say that if you have a number 1 on the call sheet who is just this megawatt talent and has a really staggering work ethic, that kind of dictates the whole mood of the show and the way that people treat the work, treat each other, and so we're very, very fortunate that way because she really dictates an incredible environment, and she's just impossibly delightful and wickedly talented. And one of the beauties of the storyline is that we don't know where it's going to go. And then and I'll borrow your great there's Team Josh and Team Charles and you said so wisely that that Liza needs to be on Team Liza.
This feels so good. But I still haven't quite figured out things with with Josh.
Yeah. It seems like you do have a few things to figure out.
But he's a true romantic, as we could see even in that scene there. Marry me and flower roses and all of that.
Jeez,
Come
on.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. Josh just wants to spend his life with this woman that he loves, and he's put so much into this relationship, and he's been lying with her for so long, So there's like
in both senses of that word.
Yeah, exactly.
Biblical sense.
So we'll see. I don't know. After this, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder.
Miriam, tell us about Diana now, because she's somebody who's had her armor on.
My armor is exactly kind of who she is. I think she views work. She goes into work with the same way a knight might go onto the battleground, like ready to win. And that has been a very successful way that she has lived her life. But obviously, it's not as successful with human relationships. So she fumbles with those. Early on, she has a mad crush on Charles because Charles. And
I don't think that ever quite goes away.
And I don't think it goes away. She's now in a relationship. Actually the healthiest relationship on the show. And I love her relationship with Liza. I love, there's a complexity there. She has a great deal of respect for Liza, and I think it confuses her. I think because Liza's spot on about a lot of things, and she doesn't quite know why, but she's developed this, she really cares for her. And that, I think, you see these chinks in that armor, and that's where the humor and the humanity kind of come through in the writing, and I love those are my favorite moments where, I love doing the hilarious, you'll see the clip where I'm riding a bike very elegantly in really high heels, and sort of acting the clown or, being put in these situations where Diana has to try to get herself out of. But I also really like when she gets to show the sort of more humane and human side of herself, which she gets to often in the writing. I love that.
Darren, I want to ask you, though, seriously, too, this show, though very funny and in the comedy vein, deals seriously with issues of ageism, which certainly exist in the publishing business, which seems to cater more and more to younger customers, and so there's more and more younger people being hired there, and so Liza has to lie, basically, her way through this. And so you are saying some important things.
I think for me, the show, what makes it really, aside from writing these wonderful characters, is that it's writing about sort of the whole disruption in our society that that everybody has to, deal with. And this is a character who basically is stepping back into a world that's not that isn't familiar to her at all that she has to sort of like learn to operate in, which I think is what everybody is doing. And so I think that the themes that we deal with, we get to think about things that are really sort of happening and affecting all of us.
How long does the lie continue?
I think I think as the show progresses, the lie doesn't become the most important piece of the show, but I think we always have a reason for the lie to continue. The lie continues because of really the value put on the perception of being that young and how important it is to her work. And I think that's what's the only thing that is meaningful to her. This is a show about a woman that work is the most important thing to her, and that she'll do anything to sort of feel her value again as someone who's working and doesn't want her age to be a barrier to that. So I think that as long as the lie stands, as long as her age or her true age stands in the way of her succeeding in work, she's going to have to continue to lie.